Alt season is here. Ethereum and XRP and other altcoins start moving up today with significant price gains. I'll break the charts down for you, and we are seeing signs of the bull market heating up with crypto apps rising in the App Store. Let's get into it. Hey folks, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, I'm sure many of you saw a lot of altcoins started moving today, and it should come as no surprise. Why? What we've been talking about over the past few days with Bitcoin's correction. It became overbought. Its daily RSI was in the overbought zone, and we've often talked about the rotation of liquidity, and it goes from Bitcoin to the large caps, then to the mid caps, then to the small caps. And this happens in multiple phases throughout the bull market until the blow off top. So we're seeing the rotation of liquidity. And if we look at CoinMarketCap, Ethereum is back over $3,300. It is up near 8% over the past 24 hours and up near 22% over the past 7 days. XRP crossed $3 once again, up over 4% in the past 24 hours and up over 26% over the past 7 days. So it has seen some pretty significant gains compared to the other coins in the top 10. Now, of course, you're going to have other altcoins, random altcoins pop off and gain a lot of momentum, but you can't compare them to these coins that are in the top 10 where it takes more liquidity to move them. And we want to use these as the measuring stick because these are the coins with the most visibility, they're the most liquid and much more. Obviously, many of them are going to get ETFs pretty soon, XRP, Solana, and so forth. And speaking of Solana, it is up over $172, up near 5% over the past 24 hours and up near 10% over the past 7 days. So folks, we're seeing the start of the next alt season. And remember, this runs in phases. So some of you may be like, I want higher prices. Of course, but you got to crawl, walk, run. There's a process to this, right? And this is why I keep hammering home. We need to pay attention to what Bitcoin is doing because Bitcoin leads the market. And as mentioned, it moved first. It went to 123K, became overbought, then started pulling back, and the liquidity started rotating to the altcoins. So Bitcoin's going to consolidate here, and then we'll prepare for the next move up, which I think could take us between 127,000 to 132K. That's a local top, not a blow-off top. And then I think the party continues into late Q3, Q4, where we could see a blow-off top then, or maybe another local top. Some people are saying this timeline could go into 2026, but I'm going to say the higher probability is that this thing blows off in Q4. So we shall see. We definitely need to have our profit-taking plan if you are planning to take profits. This way, regardless of the timeline, we're taking profits at key price points. So looking very good here, folks. And as a reminder, Bitcoin and risk assets are following global liquidity. And right now, global liquidity is showing a top in November. So this could be just a slight pullback and then it continues. But as of right now, it is showing a top. It's pulling back. So risk assets will just follow this like they've been following it the whole bull market, the stock market, crypto. And I've been telling you about the collectibles market, the real estate market, precious metals, all seeing new all-time highs. Why? Liquidity is sloshing through all the markets. But of course, nothing moves like crypto. It gives you the biggest return, and the barrier to entry is much easier, of course, globally. So it's a truly global asset class. So there's more liquidity coming in, and many of these assets are hard cap, right? Like Bitcoin, only 21 million. And of course, not all 21 million's mined, and some have been lost. So there's a great supply and demand economics playing out here. So that's the measuring stick there. And if we look at Ethereum, its chart looks very bullish. I mean, look at that. It's been moving, man. As mentioned earlier, it is over $3,300, and I expect it to continue to go higher. And this is very good because historically, what we've seen is when Ethereum is doing really well, it is on the move. That's very good for a lot of altcoins. I don't make the rules. I'm just sharing the historical patterns and what we're even seeing playing out now. And remember, a lot of coins are actually built on the Ethereum network. They're ERC20. So keep that in mind, right? As far as how liquidity is moving through the market. And then if you look at XRP, it is on a tear as well. Once again, back over $3. I think today it touched like $3.10 or more. But, right now, a little bit of a cool down. You'll actually see on XRP's daily chart, the RSI is in the overbought zone. Same thing for Ethereum. So we can expect maybe a slightly bit more higher move than a cool down, right? Just like Bitcoin. And then the continued rotation to mid caps, small caps, then back to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin goes again. So this is why it's important to understand these market principles and fundamentals so you know how to navigate this market, folks. Now, another sign that we often look at is retail sentiment, whether it's search volume on Google Trends or its app rankings in the App Store. So Coinbase's app rose 63% in the App Store charts. So that's a sign of bull market, right? Rest in peace to all the people calling the top and they were saying we were in a bear market. We're still in the bull market. We have not hit the blow off top yet. And you can see retail is coming back in as they start seeing the mainstream coverage of higher prices in the market. And this will continue till the blow off top. Unfortunately, a lot of those people coming in at the top are called dumb money. That is a term that has existed in the stock market because it's people who are not researched, who have not taken the time to understand what's happening here, and they come with the herd, right? Because they hear the Uber driver or this person say it versus them taking the time to understand market cycles, buying the dips, which I've been trying to share with you guys to help you to navigate these markets and to make money. And this same principle applies to the stock market, right? Even precious metals. It's as the saying goes, when others are greedy, talking about the herd, you become fearful. When they are fearful, you become greedy. So this is how you have to navigate the market. So a very positive sign here, folks. Things are starting to heat up. And remember, be patient. It's going to run in phases. Higher highs, higher lows, right? And you got to expect volatility and pullbacks. Now, folks, quick word from our sponsor, and that is Uphold. Uphold is a great crypto platform that I've been using since 2018. They have 300 plus cryptocurrencies on their platform. You can buy and sell and, of course, stake crypto assets. They offer staking on more than 20 cryptocurrencies. Now, Uphold is a reliable platform. I've never had any issues with them, and they have a lot of great products. And, folks, they are fully reserved, so they don't commingle or lend out your crypto funds. And they have a transparency report that you can review and you can see everything's in order. They run their business very well. I've interviewed the CEO, the CFO, and many folks from Uphold. And once again, I'm a user. They have a great rewards program called Uphold Rewards, where you can get 5.25% yield on stablecoins and 24-hour early access on new tokens. So the stablecoins they support are Ripple's RLUSD. You can get 5% on that. And USBC, you can get 5.25% on that. And to be able to qualify for this, you have to open the app once per month, deposit $50 once per month, and trade $50 once per month. So really minimal stuff here. So if you'd like to learn more about Uphold, check out the link in the description. Now, folks, yesterday, we talked about the 3 crypto bills in the House and how they failed to get through, to be passed. However, there was a vote today, but the vote was more of a motion to go vote on the passing the bill, right? Or the bills, I should say. So nothing significant happened today. However, there could be a vote tomorrow to get this through. Now, the caveat with that is that it seems it's only going to be the Genius bill that is going to be up for voting. Apparently, some folks told Eleanor Terrett that they're pulling out the Clarity Act because they want to include the anti-CBDC language in the Clarity Act. So they want to merge those two. And that makes sense. I think instead of having 3 bills, you just bring it down to 2, one for stablecoin and one for market structure, and it also includes CBDC. Now, the important thing here, though, is we want to get Genius done because that will go straight to President Trump for signatures. And the Clarity Act, even if it gets passed next week or the week after, that will then go to the Senate. And as David Sachs, the White House crypto czar, said, the Senate's going to review that in September. And that's why I said, government moves slow. That could be delayed and pushed into October. And it coincides with the top of global liquidity and the blow-off top, right? See the timing here? So I honestly believe that just maybe the Genius might get done. And I've said it ad nauseum. There's geopolitical implications there with the dollar and the U.S. getting additional avenues to have people buy U.S. treasuries. So it's not just about payments and crypto. This is about the U.S. dollar as well. So I think the Genius Act has the highest probability of being voted through maybe tomorrow or maybe next week. I think it's going to get done. It's just government, they get in their own way. It's slow. It's like molasses sometimes. It's annoying. Trust me, I'm annoyed by it, but it is what it is. But look how far we've come. folks, the Genius Act made it out of the Senate, and that's usually the harder place to move bills. The Senate, it's much, much more cumbersome to get a bill through the Senate. So we're in good shape despite these, slowdowns, I would say, not really setbacks, just slowdowns, man. Because the fact is the bills are there and they're going through the process. And even if there's delays, it's okay. We'll get there, folks. They're going to get it done. Again, the implications here with the geopolitical aspect, with the BRICS countries and much more, it's going to get done. Now, this is interesting. Something was circulating today that the U.S. Marshals revealed that they only hold 28,988 Bitcoin. So that got a lot of people upset. Like, wait a minute, I thought it was 200,000 Bitcoin. But it was a bit of misconception, and some folks cleared it up using on-chain data. The United States as a whole, they custody 200,000 Bitcoin, but it's split up into the different agencies. So the U.S. Marshals, they only have a certain amount, but the other agencies, like the FBI and others, they also, the DOJ as well, they have Bitcoin as well. They've seized from different people. So when you pull it all together, and shout out to Marty Party here on X, who did a great job. And he even tagged folks like Senator Cynthia Lummis, who was tweeting about it, that she's disappointed that the U.S. has the near 200,000 Bitcoin. It's just split up into the different agencies, and the U.S. Marshals, they just hold a certain amount. But we need somebody to come in here and bring all the Bitcoin into one respective wallet to get full confirmation of all these things. But just want to let you guys know about that because this was circulating on social media. Now, folks, look at this news. The CME is exploring 24/7 crypto trading expansion, says meme coin products are off the table. Many of you know why I'm laughing, because I'm not a fan of meme coins, but the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the powerhouse that existed before crypto, is looking into 24/7 crypto trading. But to some people out there, this is all a fad. This is a Ponzi. This is a scam, right? No, this is a technology that is going to be the rails for the governments, the economy, and the markets. And the assets, the tokens that exist on these blockchain rails can be used to speculate on, because this is how markets work, right? It happens in the stock market. It happens in the gold and precious metals market. It happens in real estate. Do I need to go on, right? So seeing the CME move like this is just massive if you understand who and what the CME is. And if you don't, this is where you got to go do your research, right? So the exchange is seeing growing institutional interest in its Solana and XRP futures, which have generated billions in volume. What have I been saying ad nauseum over the past few months? That is a very good sign. This is what the SEC wants to approve the spot ETFs. That's why I said the spot ETFs are a done deal, because this was a major pillar, the futures on the CME for the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. So it's a done deal. It's just a matter of time. It's not a matter if, it's just a matter of when. So the CME is also considering moving to a 24/7 trading to align with crypto markets, but has not yet made a formal decision. Let me break the news right now. They're going to do it. Folks, what have I been saying? No more opening or closing bells. No more close for holidays and the weekends. 24/7 trading of markets. That's why there's a big race to tokenize stocks. Robinhood, BlackRock, all these folks, they're looking to get that done and tokenize other assets, real estate, and much more, folks. That's what's coming. And because these things will be tokenized and trading 24/7, they'll be fully accessible globally. You will be able to do a lot DeFi with the assets because they're going to be in tokenized format on the blockchain with smart contracts. So that's the world we're heading to. I hope you understand what's happening here. And like I said, if you don't know who the CME group is, go do your research, folks. That's what Google's for. And it will give you a sense of how incredible this news is. Now, Trump Link World Liberty Financial, the WLFI token, clears vote to become tradable. So I'm not a World Liberty Financial token holder, but I got to let you guys know the news, of course, because I do think it's relevant and we'll see how it does. World Liberty Financial, they're kind of built with a DeFi setup, and they've been buying other tokens. So let's see what they do. But apparently the holders voted 99% in favor of enabling transfers and exchange listings for WLFI, which has been locked up since last year's $590 million pre-sale. So it is what it is. I don't necessarily have a problem with this. The only thing I've had a problem is Donald Trump's meme coin. I don't think any president should have anything like that. Democrat, Republican, Independent, doesn't matter. But if he wants to invest in a company and start his own thing, sure, why not, right? And his kids are the ones running it, obviously. But let's see how this does. Again, I don't hold a token. I'm not hating on it. If you hold it, good for you, and let's see how it does. Final news item. Talos acquires Coinmetrics in a $100 million deal. So the $100 million acquisition brings Coinmetrics data, indexes, on-chain analytics into Talos's growing platform for who? Institutional investors. So first off, big M&A, merger and acquisitions happening in the crypto industry, IPOs, all signs of a maturing asset class and a bull market. And the fact that they're building the infrastructure, not just for retail, I think the infrastructure for retail is already set up, but institutions who have more money than all of us, right? More capital, they're going to put a ton of capital into this market and it's going to continue to grow. So that's why I often say I'm not just looking to take profits from this bull market, but also the next one, right? So Talos, a platform that provides trading infrastructure and technology for institutions trading digital assets, has agreed to acquire Coinmetrics, a popular blockchain analytics platform. A source told Fortune that the deal closed at over $100 million, though at the time of writing, it remains unclear how much was paid in cash versus equity. The acquisition will enable Talos to incorporate Coinmetrics crypto market data, benchmark indexes, and analytics tools into the platform. Here's what Talos co-founder and CEO Anton Katz said. Institutions increasingly look at us to support the entire digital asset investment lifecycle. Combining our teams and technologies delivers a uniquely powerful platform. Again, folks, see the direction everything is going in here. Why the hell would they make this acquisition if this supposed asset class and technology is all a scam, right? And again, there's people out there who think this because they just read headlines, they read FUD articles, and they haven't done the research for themselves, right? But they will eventually be using this technology in one way or the other, and they'll probably one day recognize what the hell's going on and then try to come in, and it'll be too late. They won't make the same returns that many of us are going to make here in these early phases because we're the early adopters, right, folks? But this is the nature of markets. This is life, and this is why you always got to stay curious and educate yourself. Not just read headlines, but look at the major moves that are happening. It's important. I've often said, like, sometimes you got to skip the Netflix show, stop watching TV I'm not saying forever, but you know what I mean. Take the time to educate yourself because this is not playing the lottery. This is not going to the casino where you just show up and, here's a bunch of numbers. Let me pull the slot machine, lever. Let me push some buttons. That's not what this is. You got to put some work in to educate yourself. And by no means do you have to be a Wall Street expert. I'm not a Wall Street expert, but over the years, I've read books, I've listened to podcasts, I've obviously interviewed people, and I published those interviews to you. So I've been learning and continuing the journey, and there's still more for me to learn. But a great starting point is what I've been sharing with you guys with understanding the dynamic of the market cycles and global liquidity and how that impacts asset prices. Because it just doesn't apply to crypto, it applies to the other assets out there. So it's important to have that foundational knowledge. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. What do you think about the altcoin price movement so far? Again, we're just in the starting phase of alt season with the rotational liquidity, but I would love to hear what you guys think. So leave your comments below. A great way you can support me in the podcast, folks, is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It's 100% free. It's on Substack. Also, check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital, and my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you every aspect of crypto. Knowledge is power, and this is the course that teaches you, once again, every aspect of it. So go to mycryptocourse.com. All the links will be in the description. Folks, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.